It's April Fool's Day, and I'm not joking. We're gonna grade 10 wide receivers, and I hope I don't have to do this again because other than maybe Edge, there really isn't this many really good wide receivers. I'm saying like all these guys deserve to be graded. Let's get right into it. Woo! And what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Fun NFL. Yep, we got the top 10. We're rating the top 10 wide receiver prospects according to Walter Football. Of course, we're going to re-rank them based on their rating average. It's really weird. Either way, though, I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get right into it. It's going to be a long video. Sit back and relax. We'll put the guys down. And other than that, we got a lot more guys to grade. We might even do it after the draft if we have to. But let's get right into it. Okay, for Drake London, he is the #1 receiver according to, which it's very viable. 180 catches for 84 yards, 7 touchdowns in his 8-game, 21 before suffering an ankle fracture. Of course, this is bad because London, because it was probably to keep impacting with pre-draft workouts. He needed those opportunities to attempt to dispel worries about his ability to run at the next level. Here's the thing: this dude is a beast. There's no doubt. London has mismatched size and is dangerous 50-50 receiver. He's a weapon for yardage after the catch and is an asset in the red zone. NFL teams speak concerns about London hurt his draft grade because some pro evaluators worry he won't be able to separate at the next level. Others don't share those concerns and think London can be like a Mike Evans capable receiver, which is actually really true. London was on a crowded depth chart in 2019-2020, and he still showed some intriguing ability. He is a big receiver who is a physical runner after the catch and is very difficult to bring down by defensive backs. London could be poised for a huge 2021 season as the #1 receiver for Cleveland Close. After losing Michael Pittman Jr. and Robinson, London should be a top target for the Trojan. Blah 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 blah. Okay, so yeah, that is very true. But see, he only played 8 games. You can just forget this part. But what I was going to say is, so he's a pretty consistent receiver. I mean, 12 catches. You look at it. Yeah, like I said, pretty consistent receiving. Like, he had 11 receptions per game. Yards per reception, all this. This basically tells you it. He's actually not the most consistent when it comes to touchdowns, but he's had some little bit of consistency, but definitely a consistent receiver. Now let's get to the ratings. Okay, for Drake London, speed. Like I said, I think, yeah, that can actually be a pretty legitimate concern. He ain't the downfield threat you'd want to say, but I'll give him a 2.75. He isn't the slowest receiver out of all these guys by any means, but he's definitely not even close to the fastest. Short route running, I'd say it's actually pretty good. 3.2. He definitely gets open under it. He still struggles sometimes off those releases. His release is really good, but it's kind of like transitioning to route like with quickness and burst, which is another part of a release. But I think since, yeah, he does lack a little bit of speed, but his short route running isn't really bad by any means. I'd say it's a little bit above average. Medium route running is best trait. 3.5. It could honestly be better than that if you think about it. His dig routes are just so good. He runs a lot of those, runs a lot of fades. We'll get into that in a second. But medium route running, I'll give it a 3.5. Deep route running, let's see. I'll give that like, well, let's see. This is actually kind of hard. His deep route running is definitely something he's needs to work on a little bit, but I'll give it a 3.1 considering his fades are pretty good. You don't really see him run a lot of deep posts, which is something like we just don't see a lot of it. And when he does, it's really just jump ball fades, which isn't, there's nothing wrong with that. But overall, his average route running, let's see. So he's a 3.2 overall route running, which isn't really bad for him. I think he is really good when it comes to route running. Could be better, but yeah, route running isn't a problem. Spatial awareness. This is a little harder when you think about it. Spatial awareness is it's really something that's hard to see in the NFL, but he sometimes has to go out and get those extra yards. I'll go to 3.4 because he's always in the right spot. Have you ever seen go find that spot? He finds it and he knows where he's supposed to be. He gets to the sticks at the right time. He knows where he is on the field, which is spatial awareness, basically. Give him 3.4. Catching, I mean, he does drop some passes, but I'll give it a 3.1. It's about average. I mean, yeah, he goes up and catches those like jump ball passes, which is strong hands. But he also drops some underneath stuff, which is a little bit concerning. But when you have that type of inconsistency, I'll give it 3.1. But rack, I mean, they talked about it. I'll give it a 4. He's not fast by any means. He's not a Cooper Kupp guy, but man, he's really good after catch. Cooper Kupp is the best yak receiver, honestly, in the NFL for like the past 5 years. That's his thing. But he's really good with run after catch. He'll be definitely a top 10 rack receiver in the NFL this year. Like, there's only if you get out of the, I'd say there's 3 receivers in the NFL that are over a 4.5 rack yardage ability. But overall, I'll give it a 4, which is really, really good. So I think he deserves that. Agility, like I said, it's not that great, but I'll give it a 3.3. He does shake off defenders. He can make a move or two. Like, he's not the fastest, but that doesn't always make it bad because he does fake guys out. Change of direction, this is a little bit of a struggle for him. I'll give it a 2.6. Sometimes when he's running these routes, yeah, he's running them right, but it's just the fact that he doesn't do it. His routes aren't quick enough, and when you don't have quick routes, it's really hard to like get open, basically. Physicality, I mean, this is a 4.5. Like I said, he is a jump ball receiver. This is what physicality is. You can't get better than a physical receiver. That's a 4.5. He's the best jump ball guy in this draft. He's even better than Alec Pierce. He will be one of the best jump ball guys in the NFL. It's just a simple mismatch, and he's really good at it too. Possession. I mean, like, he will get to the sticks when he needs to. I'll give him like a 3.6 for this. Like, he's a really darn good receiver, but he just, when he needs to get the ball, he'll get down. He's not the guy that's going to be able to get in the sticks every single time, but he will if he has to. Release, I mean, it's a powerful release, and I'll give it a 3.1, but it's just the fact that he doesn't get off the line sometimes fast enough, which is a problem. But overall, yeah, I'll give the release a 3.1. I mean, Walter Football kind of gave it to you. Mike Evans is a perfect fit. Mike Evans is a little faster, and maybe not as good hands, but I really do think those are your 2 good comparisons. Will he be Mike Evans? Probably not, but he could be. So, yeah. Mike Evans gets a Mike Evans comparison. We'll get to the overall grade, of course, at the end. But, yeah. Drake London, some pretty solid stats there. Next guy, Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson, he is a very, like, fluent receiver. I wouldn't say he's the fastest dude. He's definitely fast. That's not denying it. But fluent receiver. When you have fluent receivers, it's hard to cover them. Wilson continued his game-breaking. Yeah, so this is from, basically, this is what we have to say. Wilson continued his game-breaking speed and electrifying playmaking ability in 2021. He runs smooth routes, which basically shows sudden and in and out of his breaks, consistently generating separation. Along with being a fast playmaker, Garrett Wilson has good body control to adjust the ball and make a phenomenal after the catch. A lot of scouts feel Wilson is smoother and more explosive than Chris Olave for the next level. In 2021, he totaled 70 receptions for 1,058 yards, 12 touchdowns. Look at his stats. 5 receptions. I don't know why the yards is glitched. I'll just show you on Pro Football Reference or Sports Reference. Yeah, we just use this. Okay, so in 2021, we'll just look at it. 70 we all look at all that, and then we look at basically 19. We look at 15. Oh yeah, he can run. He had a long touchdown as well, if you wanted to know. Look at his game logs. Receiving, he had some big games, and he also had some duds. Like, I mean, it really depends on how many targets he gets. That's like basically for every receiver, but we look at it. He had a pretty consistent season. So 5 for 80. He had a couple. He had like 2, 3. Yeah, he really ended the season well, but it was a lot about him making plays. Like he had like a little bit of a low stretch here, but these teams weren't exactly good, if you could say that. But yeah, I think he could definitely be more consistent. But he's had some monster games. Like I mean, 4 touchdowns against Purdue. Like this dude's a beast. Okay, now for Garrett Wilson's speed. This is our ratings actually. If I'm gonna give him a speed, it's a 3.6. It's hard to get higher than I know. You know what? Yeah, I'll give him a 3.8. There you go. I don't think it sticks out as much as it could. In the NFL, who knows? You get about 4.3 speed, but oh my gosh, I can't give him a 4 speed. He's not that fast. There's only like 2. I think there's 2 other guys that are faster than him in this draft. 2 guys. That's it. But Garrett Wilson is the 3rd fastest player in the draft. I think a 3-point speed rating is pretty fair. Fastest guy will give 4.5. And the other 2 guys are noticeably faster than him. But I guarantee he will be literally a 3rd fastest guy. Short route running, 3.3. He's a good short route runner. I'll be honest with you, pretty good. Medium route running, even better, 3.5. Deep route running, 3.8. Not on averages for the total route running. I'll give him like, let's see. Overall, if I had to give him a route running, we're not doing the averages because, trust me, a short route running, deep route running is not as important in some cases for a receiver as a short route running. Like, if you have terrible short route running in the NFL and great deep route running, you're not going to be a good receiver. Unless you're really good at other stuff. But that, like, the total route running thing, I'm not going to do the averages because I don't think it's really, like, the right way to do it for this case. But the route running, of course not on averages. I'll give him, like, I'll give him a 3.6. Not a 2.6, a 3.6. He's a really good route runner. One of his best traits. Spatial awareness, I don't think he has really good spatial awareness, actually. I'll give it a 2.8. Sometimes he runs routes and he doesn't know where, he doesn't adjust the route due to the defense he was in. Yeah, he had a couple, and that was basically what he did against Penn State and Rutgers. They played really good defense and made sure he was in tight spaces, so he didn't really adjust the routes, which is a problem. Catching, it's about average. I don't really think he makes anything special with catching. He does make some big catches, but a lot of his catches are with separation. We haven't really seen him make any crazy catches, but it's about average. He drops some balls and all that, yeah. Rack, 3.5. I don't think it's as good as Drake London, just for, yeah, I'll give him 3.7. That's better. Because he's not like that far behind Drake London, but the thing is, I think that's the separation between the two guys. They're very different receivers, but if I had to give a separation, it was that. Rack, which I just did. Agility, 3.6. This dude's an agile freak. I'll put it that way. This dude can get left and right pretty fast. Change of direction. I mean, 3.2. I wouldn't say he's anything special, but he does show a little bit of it. Physicality, 2. I've not seen him make a big jump ball catch. It's not his thing. It's not a problem, per se, but in the red zone, he's got to get better at that. I'll put it that way. Possession, 3.1, because he does move the sticks when he needs to, which is a big thing. Release, it's a lot of explosion, not a ton of power, which I honestly don't really care about, but I'll give him a 3.4. It's not like he struggles off the line, which isn't a problem, but if he can get better at getting a more power release, it'll be better. Here's the thing. Like, he's he's a red zone threat. Who's a good guy to compare him to? I wouldn't say Justin Jefferson would be a good one, because he's not as tall as him. Not as fast as Jalen Waddle. This is actually really hard. Yeah, this is hard. I'm thinking of a good guy. Let's see if this is not easy. I wouldn't say Adam Thielen because, yeah, I'm thinking of red zone guys too. Okay, who? This is not easy. Definitely for this guy. You know what? Calvin Ridley. Yeah, well, let's do it. Calvin Ridley. Regarding the off the field, I really think Calvin Ridley, underrated speed. I'm even underrating it, to be honest. Good route runners, not on averages, of course. Spatial awareness and physicality are not there for both those guys, but of course, really good rack receivers. But I think Calvin Ridley would be a solid option. Not the best receiver in the NFL, but definitely not the worst. So yeah, Calvin Ridley's a good comparison for Garrett Wilson. Forget the off the field stuff. Okay, next guy, Treylon Burks. Treylon Burks, not gonna lie, possession receiver. He's pretty darn slow, not fast. Burks has total 66 catches for 1,100 yards and 11 touches. He was a phenomenal playmaker for the Razorbacks and a dangerous point producer, including a superb outline against Alabama, 7-129 and a touchdown. Burks is a big potential receiver for the NFL level. He's tough, physical, and dangerous after catch. On 50-50 jump balls, Burks is phenomenal with an ability too strong for him to get a good possession and then out-jump defensive backs and excel high-point balls. Burks is a very reliable hands. Yeah, second best hands in this draft class. Take it from me. Really good hands. Now look at his stats. Of course, he had that. And he did run the ball a couple of times, too. You got to remember that. Yeah, big play guy. Like, I'm not saying deep, like, bombs. I'm talking about jump balls. And look at his game logs. They're pretty good. Like, I wouldn't say they're the greatest, but they're definitely pretty good. Like, first game of the season, he put up a dud. Second game, he put up a bigger dud. Like, he did not do good at the start of the season, but he really turned it on the next two games. He had a huge, long touchdown versus Georgia Southern. Best game of his season was against Texas A&M. A couple big catches. Oh, yeah, big game against Alabama. Where is it? Yeah, huge game against Alabama. Put up a dud against Louisiana State. But, yeah, I wouldn't say he's very consistent at times. Teams can shut him down. That is a problem. But kind of like a Jamar Chase in the NFL. You can't hold him off for long. That's basically it. Yeah, now let's get to his ratings, which I think should be pretty good. Haven't already seen? Yeah, I got Michael Thomas. Both have really strong hands. I say definitely Michael Thomas has better hands. They're both pretty slow, and they're both really good with jump balls. Speed, 2.3. He is not fast. He is not going to blow you away. He is not fast at all. I think it's not a liability, but he's definitely not fast. Short route running, 3.2. Yeah, that's actually even better. He's not good at it. I'll put it that way. But I wouldn't say he's bad either. Like, when you see him run those short little, like, what is it called? Flat routes, he catches the ball. That's literally all you need to know. He's not going to run perfectly, but I'd call him inconsistent. But he's definitely not, like, a liability, per se. Medium route running, 3.4. He's not great with the medium stuff. To be honest with you, not great at it, but he's okay. Deep route running, 3.6. Unlike Drake London, I think he's actually a pretty good deep route runner. Solid, not the greatest, but I definitely say it's his best route running. Overall, I'm going to give him like a 3.4, maybe. He definitely has some good route running. It's not like good. I wouldn't say it's good, but it's definitely like, I don't want to call it average because it is better than average, but he gets open. I'll put it that way. Spatial awareness, 3.1. He's average at this. I mean, he does make some big plays in open space, but that's because he gets there. But I think he does have a good mental spatial awareness. Sometimes he just doesn't know where he is, which a lot of receivers don't. Catching, 3.7. He catches the ball almost every time. It's hard to see him drop a ball, and it's like he just doesn't drop many passes. I wouldn't say it's a 4 or 5 by any means, but it's definitely really good. Rack, 3.5. His speed definitely takes it away from him, but he breaks a lot of tackles, which is really good. Agility, it's pretty atrocious if you ask me. I'll give it a 2. I'll give it a 2 on the dot. He breaks tackles, but he's not agile. He's not gonna fake a guy out like that. It's just he's not good with it. Change of direction, I'd say it's a little better. I'll give him a 2.4. It ain't great though. I mean, he does sometimes. It's a little slower than the normal guy, but yeah, he's not very agile, or his change of direction isn't good. Physicality, 4.3. This is his best trait. Obviously, he's a jump ball guy, but he definitely has possession. I honestly think this is another good trait for him. I'll give him a 3.8. His possession style is really, really good. His release, I'm going to give it an average. Short route medium he really struggles with getting off the line quick enough, but the deep stuff, he's got a motor for those. Like I said, he's not very fast. His agility, change of direction, and speed, all stuff, the track stuff per se, he's awful at. But other than that, he's a pretty darn good receiver. favorite receiver, Chris Olave. If you didn't know, yeah, I really do like Chris Olave. Is he the best receiver in this class? Absolutely not. Could he be? Absolutely. But yeah, for Chris Olave, he totaled 65 catches, 936 yards, 13 touchdowns. He showed his excellent speed, route running, and smooth athleticism. Olave became Ohio State's all-time leader in touchdown catches in 2021. This dude is it's just top quarterback in 20. Who stacked the least number of pass attempts in the that was easy. That's just straight up dumb type of question. But yeah, Chris Olave, I'll put it simple. He's a red zone threat. That's his biggest thing. It's both ways. It's not just getting open. It's also going up and getting it. I mean, 35 touchdowns in his career. That's crazy. 4 seasons. Yeah, he is. What is it? What is he? We'll see how old he is. $21. He's only 21? Jesus. He's turning 22. So, not too old, but yeah, he played all 4 seasons, which isn't really a surprise. But yeah. He's a good receiver. We'll get to his ratings. Yeah, we got the unicorn. We got the guy that tore his ACL. We got the fastest guy in the draft. I'll put it pretty simple. This is Jameson Williams. Ohio State transfer, electric playman for the Crimsons, 2020. 20 yards per catch, 1,572 yards, 15 long bombs, 79 catches before tearing his ACL in the national championship game. He's a light, skinny stick. Explosive speed along with the suddenness and burst of the catches, defensive back by spurt. On any plays, is Williams' threat to score. He's extremely fast, allowing him to take the top of the defenders and tilt covered his direction. He could be an elite deep threat in the receiver. He's not just a one-trick pony. Also, he can make plays, but like screens and stuff, he's pretty good with the Iraq stuff too. But yeah, is like first round. Even though he's coming off a torn ACL, don't be concerned about the other stuff though. Trust me. These receivers these days, they do heal pretty fast. I really don't think this will be much of a problem. Like, he just makes some big plays. Like, I'll show you his receiving stats. These touchdowns, it's like 11 of them are bombs. Week 1, he had a bomb. Week 2, he had another bomb. No, this was not a bomb. Against A&M, he had one really long one. And of course, South Mississippi, 1 catch, 81 yards. That was a long bomb. He is a deep threat. I'll put it that way. He's a big play guy. Not just that, though. He does get a couple of these touchdowns are on screens. You got to remember that, too. Jameson Williams is a better version of Nelson Aguilar, if you want to put it that way. And he's going to develop getting open, not just deep, too. For Jameson Williams, his speed is obviously a 4.3. I'll give him a 4.5. He's going to be a top 5 fast player in the NFL. I don't care about the torn ACL. This dude is a bomb. He's a deep speed guy. Tyreek Hill's the fast player in the NFL. He get a 5. There's really only 3 other players I'd put over a 4.5. Jameson Williams right now is a 4.5. Short route running, it's an average. We don't see it much of it, and when he does run it, he isn't very good at it. Medium route running, not so great, 2.5. Could it be a lot worse? Oh, absolutely, but it's not great. Deep route running, 4. I can't give him a 4.5 because we haven't really seen him in the NFL yet, but in college, I'll give him a 4.3. It's literally the only reason he's a good route runner. He's just able to run those deep ones, the most difficult routes in the playbook sometimes. And he's the best deep route runner I've seen in a while, too. That's one of the reasons he's a really good deep threat. Not just his bombing speed, too. Route running, I'll give it a 3.2. It's a little bit of a bad average. Like, his medium running ain't good. His short running ain't good. Deep route running, elite. Spatial awareness, I'll give this like a 3.4. He knows where he's supposed to be on the field when he's going deep. When he's going short, not really. In the medium field, honestly, it's not that bad. Catching, he does make some nice catches, and I haven't really seen him drop a ton of passes, so I'll give him 3.5. He's pretty consistent. Yeah, he probably drops the ball occasionally, but yeah, that's pretty good. Rack, he gets taken down pretty easily. I'll give him a 3.2. He's fast, but he definitely doesn't have what you want to call, what is it called? The extra yards. Like the grunt yard, you could call him. Agility, 3.7. There's definitely guys that are more agile than him. But what really gets him is his change of direction. That's a 4. He could change direction like that. It's different than agility. Side to side, he's not as good. but going straight down, whoop, and the change of direction, stop and going, that's his thing. Physicality, this is a 2. He can't really get that oomph, and like he's not the jump ball guy. You think he could? He honestly probably could get better at it, but it's just basically his build and the fact that he's not that type of receiver. He's not built like that. That's probably why. Possession, like we don't see this, so I'll give him I can't really grade him on this. You know what? I'll give him nothing because he doesn't really get those opportunities. Release, this is a 3.5. It's hard to find a better guy when it comes to the type of releases he has. He's a deep threat, but he has such an explosive release. Like, deep threats, the Nelson Aguilars of the world, their release is not good. They're just fast. But his release is explosive. You can see it off the line. He's really creative and good release. For Brandon Cooks, I think this is a really good comparison because this is what Jameson Williams probably will be in the NFL. He'll be a deep threat that's going to get really good at route running, and he's going to get injured. There you go. And he could be on 5 different teams. I'm joking. But, yeah, I think Brandon Cooks is a really good guy because they're top 10, well, I think he's even faster than Brandon Cooks. But they're atrocious medium route runners. They're good, really good deep route runners. And they're overall pretty good. I think Brandon Cooks is definitely better, like physicality, change of agility even. But yeah, Jameson Williams is a speed demon. Now we're down to the mystery man Christian Watson. Yeah, I honestly, there's not many guys who know about this dude, but he was excellent at the Senior Bowl for North Dakota State. He's fast, and he has a good build. He's a really good receiver. Excellent speed and explosion on the 40, and really good jumps. Late first-round pick, and he is a very safe second-round pick. Caught 43 for 807 touchdown. He rushed for a touchdown on 114 yards, 15 carries. Showed big playability in 2020, 24.3 yards per catch, 21.5 yards per catch in 2019. So this dude's a really weird receiver. We'll get into his ratings, of course, but he's a big receiver that doesn't really go up and get the ball. He's fast and he's good at the nifty stuff. And run after catch. He's kind of like, we'll get to him in a second, but Hunter Renfrow, but slower and faster and taller. So for speed, I'm giving him a 4. This dude is fast. Is he faster than Jameson Williams? Absolutely not. But does he deserve a 4? Yes. He's very fast. Christian Watson also short route running, 3.2. I mean, I haven't really seen a ton of film on his short route running, but what I have seen has been about okay. There's a limited film on him too. Medium route running, I haven't really seen much of this, so I'll have to give him a 3. Deep route running, he's definitely better at this. I'll give him a 3.6. When he has to run deep, he gets open, but they don't really throw him to him deep. Overall route running, I think it's about average. I'll give him a 3.3. Like I said, if you haven't seen much medium route running, short route running is nothing impressive. Deep route running is pretty good, but honestly, that won't be his best aspect. And yeah, Hunter Renfrow, but faster. That's basically what I think about him. It's not just because he's white. Spatial awareness, 3.4. He knows he's got the speed to get to the first down. He's going to get in the right spot, and he'll beat the linebacker to the first down. Stuff like that. Catching, don't know. I'll give him a 3 because I'm playing it safe. Rack. I mean, they kind of already described it to 3.9. It's not a 4. Like, I've seen he's really good with rack, but he's just not, he doesn't have that physicality just yet. He has good physicality, just not the type to get boosted him up to a 4 yet. Agility, 3.2. I mean, it's pretty good agility. It could be better, but yeah. Change of direction. I haven't seen a ton of this, but what I have seen is that he can definitely fake out defend corners, which is that gives him 3.45. Like I said, his burst is pretty good, so when he gets turns, change of direction, he catches, he kind of move. He can go in all different directions pretty well. Physicality. This is hard to grade, but he isn't really that type of receiver. That's why I'm giving it a 2.5. His possession is terrible. Like, it's not good. He's not gonna catch the ball and get down. That's not what he does. And a couple times that cost him something. He dropped the ball or something like that. I've seen it and it's not great. Physicality is it's a 2.5. Like I said, we haven't seen much from him. And when he's had to go up and get it, he hasn't really been good. Releases, honestly, it can be worse, but there's no power into it. It's really just a explosion. There's no power behind it. That's one of the reasons he struggles to get off the line. Physicality, possession, and release are the three things he really struggles with, but otherwise he's a pretty solid receiver. Now we go on to Jahan Dotson. In 2021, he recorded 91 catches for 1,100 yards, 12 touchdowns. He was excellent, producing a lot of big plays for Penn State. Dotson showed he is having an even bigger season, but quarterback Sean Clifford missed him wide open downfield with inaccurate passes. In Wisconsin game alone, he had touchdowns of over 80 yards, 70 yards, and 60 yards, but terrible passes from Sean Clifford blew those opportunities. That happened in other games as well. Team sources told WatchFootball.com they compare Dotson to Elijah Moore. Very, very true. Late first round, second round talent. I see Jahan is similar to Elijah. There's one big difference, but other than that, I think that's true. AFC director of college scouting. He's not quite a short area explosive or as long speed fast as Jalen Waddle, but Jahan is a good player. And then of course, if you go way back, he was actually pretty good. They played Villanova. I want to see what he did in that game. But as you can see, not 2018. He had some big games. 242 yards against Maryland and 3 touchdowns. So he's something. He doesn't drop any passes. When you throw him the ball, he's going to catch it. It's just like that. He had some duds. Basically, Sean Clifford keep overthrowing. The game against Rutgers was honestly awful. Yeah, he had a touchdown, yeah, a couple catches, but there were a lot of overthrows. He had the worst quarterback in this draft out of all these guys, to be honest. And yeah, for Christian Watson, no offense, but we'll get to him in a second. Later, actually, when we do the whole thing. But he won't be ranked as high just for the fact he hasn't played the competition. I forgot to mention that. But yeah, they played Villanova. He had a good game. You probably want an even better game. You want to have a game against Maryland. You want to show I can play great against anybody. Against terrible teams, I can score, I can be great against terrible teams. That would really help. But he had a good season. Okay, now for his speed. When you think about it, it's not good. I'll give him a 3.1. It's Elijah Moore has a 3.6 speed. It's not very good. His route running, his short route running is really good. I'll give it 3.4. I mean that's not really good, but it's good. He does make some really good slants, the outs and ins. He's pretty good with. Medium, I think he's better with the medium stuff, outs and ins, but I think that 3.5 is good for him. Deep route running, he's not great with this. I'll give him a 3.2. Like I said, he had those 80 yards, the deep ones. Those are just streaks. We haven't really seen him run great. It's it's also on the quarterback. You got a point there, but the receivers also got to be got to get to the football. If they're terrible passes, that's a different thing. But if they're not good passes per se, you got to still get the ball if you're a really good receiver. Route running, I think, is a 3.3. Spatial awareness, this is tough to grade because they don't really have him run the type of stuff you'd want to see him run for the option routes. Because Sean Clifford, of course, can't process it. So I'll have to give him a 3. I mean, he's run a couple of those, but 3. Catching, it's a 4. There's not, I'll go 4.1. He's the best he has the best hands in his draft. Really strong hands, but I think his biggest thing with him is the fact that when he catches the ball, it goes right into his arms. He doesn't even have to think about it. Wide receivers catch the ball, I got it, then you go. Him, it's right into the route. Right into the run after catch, which is also why it helps when you have great hands. 5.4, just for the kicks. 3.54, that's what he'll get. His rack is really good because he has such good hands. Agility. 3.3. I mean, it's not bad. It's definitely not bad, but we don't see it as much as we should. Change of direction, 3.4. I think he does. He's able to do this pretty well. Not great, but it's definitely not a weakness. Physicality, it's 2. He's not going to go up and catch the ball like Elijah Moore. That's a great comparison. I'm not even kidding. Really good one. He's not going to go up and catch the ball. Possession, it's honestly, should I give him a 4? I can't give him a 4. I'll give him a 3.4. Yeah. Because his catching is really good, but it's hard to see him just go down right away because it never happens. His release is awful. It's a 1.3. So yeah, I just talked about possession and all that. He really struggles to get off the line though. A couple of times on those third downs, it's awful. It's probably one of the worst things to watch. It's atrocious. They got to really work with him on his release. The power isn't there, and just the explosiveness isn't there either. He's got to work on his release. Either way, yeah, pro comparison, Elijah Moore will get to his overall grade in a second. Well, 3 more guys to go. Yeah. The 8th guy we got is Wan'dale Robinson. That's what I'll put him as. Robinson was phenomenal for Kentucky 21. 104 passes, 1,300 yards, and 7 touchdowns. 5'11", 185-pounder transfer from Nebraska took the SEC by storm. Absolutely. Team sources, Robinson is better version of Brandon Cooks. Yeah. Like Cooks, Robinson is an outside speed receiver who is a threat to burn defenders vertically. Robinson is not similar to Tyreek Hill. Not even close to as fast. Some sources think Robinson will be a version of Cooks in the NFL. Robinson is a phenomenal route runner with speed and is sudden out of breaks. He is a real asset to uncover quick for his quarterback. Okay, these stats, these are elite numbers. Elite numbers. That's all I have to say. And honestly, I don't think he's like either of those guys. His production's a lot better. Like, I mean, he put up some duds. I'll put it like that. But other than that, he had, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good 600-plus yard games. And 2 games that basically another 100 yards. Yeah, you're going to get over 1,000 yards easily. He had a great season, I'll put it that way. So the reason, yes, I do compare him to Stefon Diggs for one reason only. He's not super fast. He's really fast. And he's good after the catch. That's why. Speed, 3.65. I don't think he's really that fast. He's fast. I don't think he's that fast. Short route running, 3.4. I don't think it's great, but it's pretty good. His medium routing, it gets a little bit better, 3.5. Deep routing, this is the reason why he burns guys deep. 4. When you know that when you have such good efficient deep posts, which is what he's really good at, he's gonna get vertical because he has some speed, and then you add that with really good deep routing. There's where you get the 4. Routing on average, I don't know, like 3.5 again. I mean, he's not great underneath, or even over the middle, but he's really good deep. Spatial awareness, this is bad, too. I mean, no, wait, what am I saying? I was thinking of someone else, my bad. 3.6. I mean, his run after the catch is really good, but part of it is his spatial awareness. He knows where he is and how to get out of it. His catching, that's not good. This is the worst. Probably he has some stone hands. He drops touch passes sometimes that he shouldn't drop. Like interceptions, that happens a lot, but overall he's a really good. He's got to be able to get those balls more in. Sorry I said that. It sounded really weird. Now for his rack. I can't give him a 4. I'll give him like a 3.8. It's really good. He doesn't break the tackles always, but when he does, it's pretty awesome to watch. His agility, 3.5. It's really efficient. His change of direction to 3.6. But yeah, agility and speed, they're all above average. Not well above average, but they're definitely above average. Physicality, 2. I mean, some of these guys struggle. It's not just because they're small, but it's just they're not good at it. He's not going to go up and catch a bomb. That's the one thing Stefon Diggs and him don't have in common. They're not going to go up and just jump up and catch one. That's not him. Possession, 1.8. He never really seems to want to just get down. That's the first down. You never really see him do it. That is a problem. Release, I think it's a little better, but I'll give him a 2.7. He'll get better at that, but it's definitely something he needs to work on. I'll put it that way. So, yeah, that's Wan'dale Robinson. His comparison to Stefon Diggs. That's all you need to know. Let's get on to the next guy. Most popular guy, you could say, George Pickens. It's been a long one, but yeah, of course, we got 2 more guys to go. George Pickens first got hurt in the spring, but he came back, and yeah, he played, made 55 yards over 3 games. Team sources say he has really good skill for his size, speed, and athleticism. He could be a late first-round pick or early first-round pick. I think that third is good because teams will be a little bit concerned, and maybe teams pass on him. I don't know. All these guys, though, all of them, have potential to be first-round picks. He could be he could definitely be a late first-round pick. I like that. Size, speed, and athleticism is a basically good way to describe him. He's explosive and has some speed. But then we look at his stats, of course. Only played in a couple games, but we'll look at, like, I don't know, 2020. I think that would be a good game. Good thing to start off with since he got hurt. But in his games, like, yeah, he only played 8 games, but they're pretty consistent numbers. Other than the South Carolina game, he had a pretty much dud for most of the season. But yeah, he came out of the season strong, so we'll go right to his ratings. Yeah, I think his pro comparison is Treylon Smith. He will be a good guy in the red zone. He'll be definitely a reliable option. Speed, I mean, it's not good. It's not like the best, but I'll give him 3.4. I think he's definitely above average with this, but it could be a lot worse actually. Short route running. This is actually really hard because we haven't really seen much from him, but what I have seen is a 3.5. Medium route running is a 3.3. He's not, like, in 2020 he wasn't good with this. His deep route running is his best skill. I give him a 3.6 for this. It's definitely not bad. Route running on average, I'll give him like a 3.4. Pretty good with this. Spatial awareness, didn't see much from this. I'll give him 2.4. Catching, we haven't seen a ton from this either. It's a 3. Like, spatial awareness when he got the ball, it didn't really seem like he, like exactly was decisive where he went, which is kind of a problem. Rack, same thing. We don't know much about that either. Agility, with the knee, actually looked pretty good, so I'll give him a 3.3. Change of direction, I think that's actually something he's pretty good at. It's not his best asset, of course. His deep route running is his best asset, but I think he's good with change directions. Physicality, I don't think this is a problem. I'll give him a 3.4. Possession, he's not good with possession. 2.1. He has a hard time just getting the ball and going. With the knee, with the torn ACL, when he played, it didn't seem like he had one really good release. But out of his other targets in the routes you just saw him play, it wasn't very good. I gotta give him like a 1.4. It just seems he lost the explosiveness. We know that. But not only that, but the power's gone. That's the problem with it. It's not like I bet his release could be a lot better. It's just the fact that he just doesn't have that power anymore. That's why it's like this. We'll go to the last guy.
14. Ritter, plenty of time. Downfield, near side. What an effort on the sideline by Alec Pierce.
Okay, final guy, we got Alec Pierce. He had best season, 52 for 884, 4 touchdowns. Honestly, Alec Pierce is just a physical guy. Don't call him fast. Yeah, he's productive, but here's the thing. Fast, first stat was actually true. Second year can accelerate downfield and stretch defenses over the top. Pierce shows good technique as a receiver as well as technique using his size to win. With his size and speed mismatch ability, he could be a late first-round pick steal in the 2022 draft. Some team sources compare him to Reggie Nelson out of Kansas State, which is actually pretty good, darn good. But Pierce has a mixed week at the Senior Bowl. He rebounded with an excellent combine performance and has serious speed and a leaping ability. He's pretty good physically, I'll be honest with you. Okay, guys, I don't think Alec Pierce is very good in my opinion. Like, I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of him. Alshon Jeffries is a really good comparison. I think he could definitely be a productive receiver, that's for sure, jump ball guy. But I don't think his speed is there. Like, I'll give him a 3.3 just for the fact that he does get off the line pretty well, which is a big thing for a bigger receiver. Short route running. I'll go like a 3.2. It's not good. It's not, I wouldn't say it's bad, though, because he can't, like I said, he can get off the line, which does make up for some of the sloppy running. His medium route running, on the other hand, it's not great. He definitely struggles with it. Some of those, what is it called, in and outs that don't look good. Deep route running, 3.5. I mean, his fades are pretty efficient, and the way he gets downfield is pretty good, but also, I mean, the posts aren't great, but could be worse. On average, his route running, I'll give it an average 3. It's pretty not good per se, but it could definitely be worse. Spatial awareness. This is something we don't see a lot from him. 2.5. Like, when he catches the ball, he usually just gets tackled right away, which isn't always bad per se, but his spatial awareness isn't always there. He's catching. He does drop a couple passes, but honestly, he makes some good catches, so I'll have to give him a 3. Rack, 3.1. I mean, he's a big guy, so he does get when he catches the ball, he does break some tackles, but also, I don't really think it's that big of a, like, whoa, that's, like, really good. Agility, 2.4. He's not gonna juke the shoes out of anyone. He's not gonna, you know. Physicality, oh gosh, oof. I mean, I change the direction. Honestly, this is like a little better. I'll give him 2.7. Physicality, can't give him a 4. I'll give him like a 3.7. He's really physical. Like I said, he goes up and jump ball. That's his best trait probably, but it's not great. Possession, I think is actually even better. I'll give him a 3.4. He's good with possession. I think he's powerful. Like I said, first week, give him a 3.2. Yeah, that's Alec Pierce. We'll get the overall ratings. Like I said, they're not going to be the same as last time. I'll just say that because couple things for more players, and they didn't come out the way I thought they would. Okay, guys, yeah, we got our final thing, basically. Garrett Wilson's my number 1, 3.56. Drake London, 3.5. He'll be our second guy. He had a really weird rating thing, whatever. I think he's the number 2 guy, though. Jameson Williams, our 3 guy. He's just basically a deep threat, and he's the most explosive player in the draft. That's why he's there. One of the reasons. 3.56 in total, though. Treylon Burks, 3.47. That 4th guy, great football player. Olave, most underrated player in my opinion, 3.49. Wan'dale Robinson, 3.45. Christian Watson, 3.42. This dude could be really good too. Jahan Dotson, 3.37. Handman. Alec Pierce, 3.3. The jump ball guy, and the George Pickens. I'm gonna have him in the last. I don't think he is the worst guy. All these guys have potential to be first round picks. They're all really good players, but of course Garrett Wilson, George Pickens, Garrett Wilson's obviously better. But those guys are my wide receiver prospect ratings. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe. See you in the next one.